Guys, we're just going to have a quick look at this hippo. The last many times whenever we came down to Buffelshoek Dam, it's only been him and the geese. Excuse me. Amazing design of the head. Just look at all the sort of sensory parts of the body, the nose, the ears, the eyes, all just sticking out just above the water. Means the hippo can keep himself pretty much totally submerged without having to get any of his skin exposed to the sun, and he can still breathe and see and listen. Green pigeons. Now, green pigeons are predominantly fruit eaters. So sometimes well actually shall I say quite often we hear them in fruit trees, jackalberries and so on. You hear them calling and you occasionally see them in there, but normally quite hard to see. It's not often that you see them like this out in the open. Absolutely stunning birds. And I mention this every time, but they've got a very apt Afrikaans name. In Afrikaans, if you translate the name, is papegaai duif, which means parrot pigeon. That's a direct translation. Actually, I want to look at this one on the left here as well. Beautiful light as well, that sort of soft grey background of the clouds. This one looks like it wants to fly away as well. Perfect perch sitting on a dead leadwood tree. I think the tree itself is also beautiful to see, just the texture and the color of that old wood. And of course a lilac-breasted roller is a beautiful bird. We look at them often, but I think every single time it's still enjoyable. Look at all those colors. And then it's it's beautiful. Look at the colors on it. A bit too close to you, Alex, is that alright? Looks almost like a mosquito at first glance. This is still a nymph. This will still grow quite a bit bigger. It'll still grow wings and it's attacking me. Sorry, Alex, he's moving around now. This long antenna, the abdomen. This is also a fairly characteristic thing of young praying mantises. They tend to keep the abdomen around like that. Why exactly, I don't know. It's just something that you'll observe all the time when you see young mantises, or mantids, to be more correct, I guess. As they mature, that abdomen stays down, and they also grow wings. This one is busy cleaning his face, his eyes. It's amazing, all the different forms of life that we get out here. Look at those front legs. You can see the way they designed. Try and let's see, maybe if he stands up for us. Hello. Yeah. Monitor. Varanus is also what they're called sometimes. It's not a very big one. This is still a youngster, probably only 2 or 3 years old. Reptiles are especially hard to guess the age because they grow relative to how much they eat. So you could have two monitor lizards or two snakes that are exactly the same age, and one can be much larger than the other if it had more food and better conditions. This one's taking it easy. It's probably on holiday. It's right there on the edge of the water, just lying around, catching some sunlight, warming up a bit. Look at the design of this as well. Like I said, the species is the water monitor. You get two kinds of monitor lizards here. The other one that we tend to see is the rock monitor. I guess you could call it bush monitor if you want out here. There's not a lot of rocks in this area, but the rock monitors, they live more just in general sort of bushy habitats. They don't need to be close to water, even though they can swim. They just live sort of wherever there's bush and food around. But your water monitor lizards, these guys, your null monitor, they like living close to water. So any river system, lake system, dam, if you go look around the edges, at some stage or another you'll find one of these. Very, very good swimmers. Nice sort of flat, broad feet. Also that tail, if you look at the shape of the tail, you can see it's a very strong, sort of rudder-like tail. Very, very good swimmers, these guys. Both by floating and swimming across the surface of the water and also diving down. They'll go under the water. If they want to hide, they sometimes dive down and go lie on the bottom of the water. The bottom of the dam, I guess, or the river, underneath the water. A funny description there. But for now, this one is just taking it easy. No rush for it to do anything. Just before we move on, we had a question from Joe, or a request. I'm not quite sure how to take that. Basically, Joe, we have been looking for those already this morning, the Mapocho males, the lions that have been roaring. At first we were hoping that they might be on our southern border, down towards Twin Dams. We went past there earlier on the drive. Also, Charles have been looking around, and even tracks-wise, there's not that many tracks. So they're actually further south than Western Gari. We're looking at somewhere like Chitwa maybe, or... I love looking at birds sitting at the end of a dead branch. Every time we look at it, I just like it. Amazing creatures as well. They've evolved for a long time. Birds have been around for many millions of years. Let's look at that. She looks like it might be missing one or two of its tail feathers. Normally a Birchall starling, this species, have got quite long, lush tail feathers, but this one is healthy enough, but maybe it had a bit of a skirmish at some stage. Bit of grooming, making sure the feathers are in place. It's an awesome angle, we're almost sitting underneath it. Normally the first day or so after lambing, the females tend to keep the little ones away from the herd. It's because the herds tend to attract more attention.